This is my favorite YouTube thumbnail at the moment. Actually, it's this. But for a general audience, it's this. This one is just, I don't know, it's so funny to me. I guess it's the determination on this little VTuber's face that I think is just so funny. I'm rocked in.
If we just hit, I don't want to be here for an hour. We'll come back. We'll come back. I could beat him. It'll just take an hour. We're gonna come back. Hey, the big thing's following me. Hello?
Fie. Another. Treading the heels of Mikela.
Yeah.
Then, as that woman would surely say, we are in our purposes well enough.
Sir!
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Saladino. So this guy, Del Walker, is a game developer who's worked at Naughty Dog on The Last of Us Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. I think he worked on the remaster. And at Rocksteady on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, or better known as Suicide Squad Kills Rocksteady. He was one of the people who attacked Power World when it first came out. Immediately, devs and the media attacked it for the dumbest reasons. You got this guy who worked on not just Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but he also worked on the quote-unquote remaster of Naughty Dog's Last of Us 2 Electric Boogaloo. And it's funny. So this guy he deleted these tweets, but this guy is literally saying that the devs of Power World made the game nefariously. A guy who's worked for Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog has chased off so many of their best developers because of The Last of Us Part 2. And this guy is talking about something nefarious going on with, a relatively small budget indie game. He really sucks. He's definitely on the woke DEI Sweet Baby Inc. side. But recently, he put out these tweets which have been doing the rounds. So he's quote retweeting this account, The African Gooner, which sounds like my alter. The original account is showing a picture of Tulami Benson, the swag, the girlfriend of Bukayo Saka, the right winger with Arsenal. I'm not down with Arsenal at all. I'm a United fan, but I'm one of those fans who root against the team because I hate the owner so much. Whatever, but I have to get into all of that. So Del Walker is quote retweeting this guy. There's been a handful of times I've pitched black women characters that look like this. Then, after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes back without a speck of the original beauty I pitched. Then he does another tweet. I'm not talking about mild changes. I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, flair. I hate giving Gamergate men fuel. It's not just a men, dude. But it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back like grocery store aunties. There's room for both. Thing is, there is no room for both. Particularly with black women. There has been a deliberate choice to make them all ugly, angry, manly looking, constantly. He's talking about a handful of times that he's done this, but this has been going on across the board, and he has to know this. I don't even know what made him speak out. I think this maybe started when he commented on Silent Hill. One of the people on his side, on the sociopath side, actually made a tweet going, "They made Maria allergic to surfing. No." It seems like this Kate Bush's husband is a sociopath. I've seen tweets from this person before. So Del Walker had retweeted, "As a game dev, I'm here to tell you these situations arise when there are too many men on a team." Stop it. They overcorrect for the hypersexuality of the 90s. Hypersexuality. I'm so tired of that term. And there's no woman in the room to say, relax. Some women like dressing in leopard print in crop tops. And that's okay. He's so full of shit. He's a clown. This is why he was dragged when this tweet first came out. Despite being dragged, he still is aware of the fact that, yes, there is a problem with uglifying women. Even though he's trying to do this thing where he's straddling the line and trying to make a distinction. Because he's saying, I know the Gamergate men out there. And it's not just Gamergate. I have been against this stuff before Gamergate 2.0 or whatever. DEI is the Karen of art and entertainment. You know what you're going to get because you know what they're going to complain about. You know what their checklist is. You don't have to think when it comes to DEI. You know what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. About, like, particularly with Maria, she's supposed to look like that. This Kate Bush's husband is like, oh, she's serving looks. But Del Walker clearly didn't play the game, or at least his tweet doesn't reflect that, because he's talking about how if there were more women on the team, there's already women on the team. We saw the Bloober team or whatever talk about it. You saw those two little gremlin women who were talking about how excited they were to be working on the game, and yet they still produced Angela and this jacked up Maria. With this tweet where he's talking about, it's okay, some women like to dress in leopard print, blah, blah, blah. So on that level, Del Walker must have talked to real women in real life, probably in a relationship. He knows that in real life, women want to play as beautiful characters and like to see beautiful women. That's the whole fashion industry. A lot of these trends that women go for, these beauty trends, are because of other women, not because of men. So he has to see that. The problem with this particular tweet is this thing about not seeming to recognize or realize that canonically Maria is supposed to look like this. He didn't even talk about it like that. He didn't even address that. So people kind of dragged it for it. Now doing this tweet about black women. I feel like, especially with black men, I hate when black men are pumping this DEI stuff. This cookie cutter thing where, like I said, it's the Karen of art and entertainment, because you know what you can do and what you can't do. You can't have a beautiful black woman. You can't have Talami Benson here in this picture on the left. You have to have this clown looking, Urkel looking woman on the right. It's ridiculous. And with the DEI thing, he has to see that even if he tries to have nuance, the nuance doesn't matter because they see black women and that's it. No, it can't be a beautiful character. The thing about black women, not just the fact that they're the SJW mascot, they take black women and they put all of their different DEI attributes on them. It's not just that they make black women. They make fat black women. They make fat black lesbian women. They make fat black lesbian disabled women. Like, I've always said this about how they do black women. And I know that there's other YouTubers who've reported on this story of what Del Walker said and how he's confirming what we all know. But then, and they say, when he says black women, they go, well, it's not just black women. They're making all the women ugly. Yes, that's true. But Del Walker is talking about what I've been talking about. In particular, black women have been subjected to this for much longer. And not just in video games. It's in comics. It's in movies. He knows that there's something about it. Maybe he doesn't realize, though, that it's the way in which he's surrounded by a lot of white people. A lot of these white devs who don't have a lot of real life black friends. They talk about how they're speaking up for POCs and BIPOC and all this nonsense. But in real life, they don't actually have black friends. To them, when they think of black women, they're thinking about black women in service roles. They're thinking about security guards and women who work at the DMV. Like I always said about Amanda Waller and other black women, where it's like, you make black women look like they work at the DMV and you want us to stop complaining about that. And it's funny because your boy Zakum said that recently too. We're talking about whatever this latest DC event was, and it's all centered around Amanda Waller of all people. Like, who gives two shits about Amanda Waller? Especially since she looks like just some fat black woman who's mad and pissed off at the DMV. Why would anybody take her seriously? Why do they keep pushing her down everybody's throats? This is the kind of black woman that white people see and think about. If you make an attractive black woman, then they consider her over-sexualized. So to them, any decent, halfway good-looking black woman that you pitch to these clowns, it's hypersexualized to them. They associate that with video vixens or whatever, or porn or something. It's just like how these sociopaths always say, the reason why you want attractive women in video games is because you're addicted to porn. If I'm addicted to porn, I'll just watch porn for good-looking women. No, this is a visual medium. I'm surprised that Del Walker even made this concession. He must be frustrated dealing with this stuff on his own, especially since there was another tweet where he said something about he's going to start his own studio at some point. So I guess he's looking at the industry that he works in, where he's probably going to have to do DEI stuff just to get funding or get people to work with him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him with that. More people need to speak out against this, even though he's trying to separate himself from Gamergate men. And it's not just men, it's women too. But it is good that he said something. And for me in particular, because like I say, yes, they're making all women ugly now, but at least with like the MJs and stuff, you know they're just making them trans friendly. With the black women, they're making them all bus drivers and school cafeteria cooks and housekeepers and maids and stuff. Now, they've got a bunch of black women leads in games coming up now. None of them are attractive. They're just neutral. They're just okay. The girl from, what's it, South of Midnight, the girl from Flintlock, they look boring and unappealing. You have Frey from Forspoken. The actual actress is gorgeous. The character is just dull and neutral. Then you have Saga, this race swap, Saga Anderson and Alan Woke. She's all right. In real life, she's a better looking woman, but in the game, she's just sort of dull and neutral and just bland because they don't want you finding the women attractive at all as it is, and especially black women. Because a black woman look even halfway decent, she's over-sexualized. That's just a lot of other kind of racial stuff going on that I don't feel like getting into now. But more people, if they want their industry to do better, not just financially, but creatively as well, they're going to have to speak up more and more. I don't care how many times Del Walker tries to distance himself from Gamergate men. Just find a way to speak up against this practice of uglifying women, black or otherwise.